I'll be reacting to High Guardian Spice Episode 1, and I will be watching it from Crunchyroll's website, and I'll be starting my reaction in 1, 0, go! The being contains strong language around sexual content. I stable for some in the Imperial. Really? I mean, going by at least the small preview I saw, it didn't look like it had anything inappropriate, but okay. If it delves into, like, some dark elements. Alright, the voice acting doesn't actually sound that bad. I was actually expecting something kind of worse. Although when the actress of the pink hair girl goes a little bit, like, really excitable, though, the execution of her lines could be a little bit better, though, as far as dubbing goes. All right. At least here there is giving us some base characterization. I guess with Sage, she seems to have a good degree of competence. I hope we actually do see that on screen in the first episode, though. Because some animated series sometimes will mention some personality traits of a character, but they don't show them off on screen. But I'll give the series the benefit of a doubt, though, and hope for the best. I'd be creeped the fuck out if I had a sentient chest near me. I don't know. Just because it wouldn't have any eyes, it would just creep me out. I actually like how the animators play around a little bit with the backgrounds to actually have a little bit of comedic animation here, like when that thing pulled on Sage's hair. All right. I'm assuming it's the opening. All right, so I guess going by the opening, someone's going to have some slice of life vibes. Definitely doesn't seem anything that's inappropriate at all, though. It doesn't seem like there's any, like, super sexual content of that. Since Crunchyroll mentioned that it would have that. Or anything, it seems super wholesome, which, I mean, I don't mind the wholesome stuff one bit. Just as long as Pebble and Sage go through significant amounts of adversity, then I actually kind of like the opening song. I might actually listen to a full version of this if it's out there online. The opening animation could be better, though. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's the worst animated opening I've seen this season. That honor for the worst animated opening of the season belongs to the Fruits of Evolution Isekai series. That one has the worst animated intro. But here you can definitely tell it's a bit rough on a few places. Like whenever Pebble moves her body, her dress, it moves a little bit. The movement looks a little bit static, especially when you compare it to other animated series like Love Live, Superstar, or even a Takuto OP Destiny series where you have movements of character designs and clothing constantly. Is that even allowed? I mean, hey, at least they weren't completely rejected. Okay, I actually like that a slight bit of cockiness there. And I'll give him credit, at least when it comes to the animal moving the vehicle, at least it isn't CGI, so you can tell that at least there's some effort put in the animation, even though it doesn't have the highest budget. The production values at least look better than the Crunchyroll original Onyx Equinox and X Arms. So far, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be, actually. All right. At least for now. Hmm. That's what happens sometimes, where you sometimes only have the perspective of the trees, but not the forest around you, and you only really can get that perspective of the forest once you start to expand your horizons. That's actually a pretty relatable feeling. I love how Rosemary is a little bit unethical. And just so for their sake, they don't get caught. I wonder if there's going to be anyone to catch them for doing that. I'm pretty sure someone's going to notice. Or not. Huh. As for this bit with the train, they could animate it a little bit better, because when you got people in the train and the silhouettes, you don't see much animation going on. I gotta compare it because this is airing, and Crunchyroll is advertising this as an anime. I gotta compare it to anime that are airing this season. But you've got anime like Taketo OP Destiny 86 Season 2, and also Digimon Ghost Game, where they have people moving in the backgrounds, even in like the simplest sequences. So even though it doesn't look bad, there could be a little bit more attention to detail that the animators could pay towards when it comes to the some bits in the animation. Doesn't look awful though. Okay, that. Okay, now this is more like it. You actually see people moving in the background, at least in this specific shot. So at least here, there's definitely some talented animators working in the episode and snippets. I just hope they have a hook scene though, because don't get me wrong, I don't, not necessarily disliking it, but that is way more than just a few. Oh yeah, I'm assuming they're going to be able to teleport into a room or some kind of dimensional magic. Had a feeling. Had a feeling because just a few seasons ago I was seeing the Indun Chronicles, and they somewhat. It was an anime from Spain, one of the Netflix originals. Y'all probably never heard of it, but it handled the roomings. This series handling the rooming similar to that series. Kind of like how they're handling this, because considering that it's a big portion of the series is going to be school based, they're going to be saving some of the exposition for the school sequences. At least I hope they actually do go through the fun. Hmm. It doesn't sound like she loves being a guardian, though, going by her facial expression. I'm assuming they were eventually she wasn't able to come back home, though. That's going to be my guess. Did you just jinx it, Rosemary? Oh, never mind. I was gonna think for a second the mother was gonna die at that specific point in time, because it felt that way. Whoa. Okay, that actually does open up a lot of questions. Did Rosemary mother and well, she didn't now, and you jinxed her, Rosemary. I'm just saying. She condemned her mother. But no, all jokes aside, though, at the very least, it does give Rosemary a little bit more depth and giving her a sad backdrop. And it also kind of, in a way, explains why she has such a good bond with Sage, too. I just hope we have a little bit more writing and dialogue, though, because she says, I'm at Lingard. We're at Lingard multiple times in the episode. Hope they vary up the writing in the episode a little bit more. Yeah, the animation where Rosemary is eating is kind of poor because she like keeps on getting the cookies, and it's the same amount of cookies on the plate. Okay, now that looks beautiful. Oh man, if I were in that table, I'd want to eat at least one of every bit there. Hmm. It looks like the one's on a mad with the way she's talking with them while chewing. What the? Okay, she must have a bottomless pit as a stomach to be able to eat all that. She needs to use the restroom. That's what me, I guess. Oh, never mind. I thought. Guess I was wrong. And okay, I'll give him credit. When it comes to Rosemary, I like the touches where it shows you her hyperactivity by how she just slides and is always moving around. It does a great job of. It's freaking Rosemary. At this point, she feels like the type to be just shooting by the hip figuratively and handling every situation that way. And just going with what she feels and nothing. Yeah, not thinking about the ramifications of reactions. I don't know if I liked that attempt at comedy though when she was just recklessly swinging her blade though, because considering that that sword is really important towards Rosemary, I think that was a little bit too reckless swinging around the sword, especially. Yeah, I actually ain't. But she almost did though. She actually had every right to be pissed. I would be similarly pissed towards Rosemary too. I'm not gonna blame that girl for being angry at her. And Rosemary should have known better too, because considering the fact that she's in training, you would think she had to keep that in mind, especially considering the value of that sword. It's kind of cute, I ain't gonna lie. She's gonna fuck up somehow. It's a shame she didn't bring the her broom though to be able to at least give her some flight capabilities in this specific. Uh, Yo, how did How did Sitch get there as quickly as Rose? Like Rose just fucking went all gung ho on her feet. I think she should have said it earlier to her. I actually kind of hope Rosemary suffers some consequences for being a little bit reckless in this episode. Not because I dislike her, but to maybe for the series to set up an arc where she eventually realizes that she shouldn't just be making hasty actions 24/7. Damn. Nope, it knows there. Uh huh. Oh. What is it like? Doing some kind of ritual type thing? Or is it? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, it is a fantasy series, so a mating call? Okay, I did not watch the episode beforehand, y'all. I just had a feeling. Because when you see enough anime and cartoons, you can kind of predict some of the on-screen dialogue bits right before they happen sometimes. How the fuck does that work? Fuck it. It's actually one of the wild things in the episode, so. Now, when it comes to this, but don't get me wrong, it's kind of cute, but it kind of makes me wonder how is this going to really relate to Trixie. And Ash is going to have to accept that ain't hers anymore. Oh! I mean, she'd be lucky those things didn't cause more damage. Okay, Rosemary's Factory is when she says it's just a necklace. Sound a little bit forced there. Not to say that Rosemary's actress is completely bad. She does a better than the voice actors from Onyx Equinox, which is another Crunchyroll original that they also did that had English dubbing from the first episode. So this is still leaps above that. And to its credit, Sage's voice actress is actually pretty good. Like, I ain't gonna lie. She really carries a lot of the scenes for me in the first episode. Oh, snap. Is that dwarf? Hmm. Oh. Considering that she's shown off in the key visuals for the series, I hope we can actually see her make some cool shit during the series. That'd be pretty badass. We got a bad. Okay, I like her. I like her. A third? What the? Whoa, Prince has been really busy. Whoa. I like how Rose has like a zero filter. Because it's nice. It's one of her negative personality traits that I'm assuming the writing staff is going to probably work on throughout the series. At least hopefully. I ain't going to blame her for getting pissed off. I mean, honestly, Sage and Rosemary should be a little bit more careful of their surroundings. The lady could have probably taken on Rosemary in a fight, though. Like, no joke. That chick looks like she's been around the streets. Bro, Rosemary, don't get me wrong. Rosemary doesn't look like, she ain't look like no bitch either. But I'm just saying the way her beauty looks like she is like kick people's asses by her character design. I'm just saying. I don't know. I think they're giving it a little bit too gravitas that they protected him. I don't know. I think they are giving Sage and Rosemary a little bit too much credit. It's not like they protected it. It's more like they lucked into it by fluke luck. We didn't really see Rosemary or Sage do anything brilliant in that specific instance. Don't get me wrong. Seeing the dance was nice. It was nicely animated, but we didn't really get to see them implement any of their intelligence or quick thinking abilities. But maybe they'll show it off when they're in the academy. Maybe. At least I hope. I mean, that's life. Okay, I kind of like that little line there where just like I'll put you back together because it actually does fit with the episode where whenever Rosemary gets into issues, Sage will try to fix it up a bit. At least with the small bits they shown off in the episode. Now that's a good line. Okay. There's potential. There were things I liked about the episode and things I didn't like, but overall, I'm veering a little bit towards more positive than negative. The Edie is so. The lyrics, anyway. The opening, I like the Edie. Could be a little bit better. It feels like the singer for the Edie's singing a little bit off key. As for the Edie visuals, I mean, they actually do look. I'll give credit to the animators in the Edie, though. They actually do look better than some of your conventional anime Edies. Most anime Edies just settle for having like a bunch of stills and not much movement going on. At least here, you see some movement going on in some bits in the Ed. Does it make it the most engaging Ed? No, but it's better than some of your conventional Eds for this fall 2021 season. So I'll give the animators credit. The song itself and the singer's voice, I wasn't a big fan. Oh, hello, Leo Sick. Yeah, it looks like I'm the only I'm the only one that's actually reacted to the first episode, Leo Sick, which I'm surprised. Literally, Leo Sick. I was working today. Like, I had this series marked on my calendar for like weeks because I was actually kind of one of the few people that I was like, you know what? I'll give High Guardian Spice a chance. And I was working. So this came out while I was at work. And then when I was coming from work, I was just gonna check out if anyone did a High Guardian Spice reaction just to see. I'm like, I'm gonna see if any of the big reactors did it. And to my surprise, no one did. I'm like, okay, I guess I might as well be the first one then. Why the fuck not? Because I was originally gonna react to Takuto OP Destiny originally, Leo Sick, but then I noticed no one even bothered reacting to the first episode. I was like, okay, Takuto can wait. I'll do High Guardian Spice first. I'm glad I did, though. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, Leo Sick and everyone else. Now, let me start with the positives about this episode before I delve into the negatives. Now, here's some positives. Sage's voice actress is really good. She bounces off of Rosemary's actress extremely well. And to its credit, the animation had more positives and negatives. Like, for example, that bit where the creature was chewing on Sage's hair. That was some inspired humor there. That bit where you saw that little ritual was really cute and adorable. The opening had some nice bits of animation here and there. So visually, even though, yes, there were some bits where the animation could have been better, there were more bits where the animation stood out in a positive way than a negative way. And in addition to that, I do love how this series did not fall into the pitfalls of becoming fully exposition dumpy. I like how when it comes to the episode, the writers even did like a little knock that most cartoons would do, because some cartoons start out with lots of exposition dumps that are boring as fuck. And I like how the girls are like, "Now we're gonna let the school explain this shit. We're not gonna do it right now." And I like that. I like that on the nose humor and that slight little fourth wall breaking. So there were some bits of dialogue that were nice. And to its credit, I thought the background art looked pretty decent. Well, yes, the background art isn't on, say, the level that you would get from a higher budgeted production, like, say, Ufotable animes like Demon Slayer, or some of the PA Works anime like Aquatope, or even some of the productions you'd see from Chinese donghua like Modao Sushi. Shit, that series has, God, gorgeous backgrounds. While it isn't on those levels, I'd say the background art itself gets the job done. It looks good. I mean, if I were to compare it to your conventional cartoons animes, I'd say it gets the job done. In some instances, you see some decent movement. So that's why overall, I felt there were more positives and negatives in the episode overall. And saying that, yes, there were negatives though. And I'm not going to ignore them. For one, here's the issue. Rosemary, I liked her as a character, but damn it, I really hope her voice actress gets better, because there were some bits where she could have voiced her lines better. And that was the only thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit too. You have that bit near the end of the episode where they explain how Rosemary and Sage protected that ritual between the two creatures. And I'm like, I think they're giving our girls a little bit too credit, because they really didn't do much to protect it. We didn't really see them go up against any obstacle. We really didn't see them implement massive amounts of intelligence to keep the ritual going. So it felt like the narrative kind of gave them a little bit more credit than they actually deserved. It didn't feel like it was actually earned, which is not just an issue for this series. It's an issue for a lot of Western-based cartoons too, where you sometimes in Western-based cartoons would get the main characters get loads of praise for not doing much of anything at all, and then like the greatest ever with minimal effort. Now, in saying that, that was one of the few bits I didn't like about this episode. I liked almost everything else. Oh, I even liked that little bit of mystery too, when it kind of makes you wonder what in the hell happened to Rosemary's Mom. I thought that was a nice little hook there, because it makes you wonder. It looks like she actually saw that coming with the way she instantly gave her sword to her daughter. And it seemed like she allowed herself to be taken away. And I kind of do like the irony where you had her girl jinx it by saying straight up, "Oh yeah, you always come back." I'm like, oh, I can see where this is going. But in saying that though, that was a nice little red flag there. I like that bit of dialogue. So there were some bits where the script shined. So that's why I thought overall the positives outweighed the negatives. I still got to mention the negatives though, because I can't just pussyfoot and be like, oh yes, I enjoyed most of it. While I did enjoy a good amount of it, can't ignore the downsides. As for other bits, I thought that little blacksmith girl was pretty nice too. I liked her, and the anger from the red-haired girl. Sorry, I had a lot of work today. I can barely catch my breath. I've been working like 66 and 50 hours a week lately, but I also like that red-haired girl too. She was justifiably angry towards Rosemary, and I like that because at the very least, whenever she becomes friends with, I'm assuming she's going to become friends with Rosemary because the 80 pretty much spoils it. But I'm assuming when that time comes, it's probably going to be filled with a lot of nice character dialogue, and I cannot wait. At least my expectations for that potential moment are going to be high. And yes, for those of you wondering, I will be reacting to all the episodes, so don't worry about that. I will, because I'm really curious now. And that's why if I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being abysmal, 5 being average, and 10 being exceptional, I'm actually going to give it a 6 out of 10, above average. I'm actually was surprised in a lot of bits. And if anything, well, yes, the downsides for now keep it from greatness. If the writing staff can at the very least improve in the future episodes, I think the series could be a fun watch. I mean, I just at least hope it's better than X-Arm and Fina Pirate Princess. Please make it better than those two series. If y'all can at least do that, then I have a feeling the series is going to be a fun ride. But yeah, I liked it overall. And if it just fixes a few things, I think it can be great. Or at least decent. But at the same time, it could also become bad too if the writing staff isn't careful. But I'd say there's more signs of optimism for the most part. But anyways, y'all, these are my thoughts on the episode. I would really love to hear your thoughts on how I feel about my reaction. And right before I go, I'm going to give Crunchyroll a like for the episode because I like the episode. Let me see the stats on it. Yeah, apparently High Guardian Spice episode 1 has 67 likes and 219 dislikes. Well, I'm going to give him like number at 68. So there you go. Now it's got 68 likes and 219 dislikes. For those of you that are curious, because apparently that's how it's rated on Crunchyroll's website. It's apparently really hated right now. Huh. But it looks like episode 2 is better. It seems like the likes are more favorable in episode 2, so that's some damn good news. Well, Leo's sick, it depends. I might react to episode. Well, actually, my schedule is going to be pretty random for High Guardian Spice because since my main priority right now is reacting to like anime from Japan, it's going to be random as hell. So it's really all going to depend. Is this series going to perform better than my normal anime reactions? If it does, then my reaction to episode 2 is going to be immediately. If it does pretty much the normal numbers of my anime reaction, then it'll pretty much be my episode 2 reactions and be set for tomorrow. So it really is all given, just depending on how the video performs from an analytical standpoint. But let me check though. Is it? Yeah, for now, apparently this video, it has the views, which isn't bad. That's actually decent for my channel, considering that my channel is small. That's actually, yeah, it's not that bad. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to be reacting to episode 2 tomorrow after I react to normal anime. So pretty much my schedule for the next episode is going to be probably 10 or 11 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow because that's my time zone. I operate off of Pacific time. Right now in the place I live in, it's 8:15 p.m. Pacific time in my time zone. Now let me check my reaction lineup for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I react to the Hike story the world's finest assassin, banished from a hero's party, and ranking of kings. So if I were to guess, my reaction would be the fifth one. This would be like the fifth one I react to tomorrow. So Leo Sick will be pretty much after I'm done reacting to those 4 anime. After that, my episode 2 reaction is going to be up on tomorrow. Since I definitely do want to react to High Guardian Spice episode 2 as quickly as possible. But the issue with that is I also need to react to the other anime because I am watching 40 anime this season. And this series did dump all of its episodes at once. Apparently, I checked on Crunchyroll. They apparently posted all their episodes 1 through 12 in a single day, which caught me off guard. I'm like, okay then. This is cool. But yeah, hope that answers your question, though, Leo Sick. My reaction to episode 2 will most likely be tomorrow. Unless my episode reaction does so well in the next 2 hours where it's like, okay, I'm going to forego sleep to react to episode 2. But it doesn't seem like it's like this video isn't going to do bad. It's going to do okay for me. It's going to do okay going by the stats. 9 views, 2 likes. It's not terrible. It's actually decent. Considering that no one's talking about this series, it's pretty decent. So, yeah, but it's not going to do great numbers for me. That's going to do okay. So, yeah, my reaction for episode 2 is likely going to be tomorrow, pretty much. 10 or 11 p.m. Pacific time, in case you want to actually have an accurate time. But, yeah, hope that answers your question, Leo Slick. And also, thank you very much for commenting on the live chat, Leo Slick. But anyways, right before I go, let me just say thank you very much, y'all, for watching my video. Hope y'all rate it, share it, comment, and subscribe. And I hope y'all rate it because the more you rate this video, the more likely I'm going to release the episode 2 reaction quicker. Like, if y'all make the episode 1 reaction do extremely well, I will make the episode 2 reaction a priority over the other anime that I'll be reacting to tomorrow. If it just does okay, then it'll be pretty much after noting on the animes. That's pretty much how I'm going to handle the episode 2 reaction, y'all. If this does extremely well, then this will be the first thing I do tomorrow. If not, it'll be like the 4th or 5th thing I do tomorrow as far as reactions go. It really just all depends. But anyways, y'all. Thank you very much, Legendary Gamer. Yeah, you know what helped me in reacting to Legendary Gamer? I've actually reacted to non-anime related stuff before, too. I reacted to a Chinese animation called Modao Sushi and Heaven's Official's Blessing. So those two got me adapted to reacting to non-anime related stuff because that was a donghua, and this is a cartoon. So my experience with reacting to Modao Sushi and Heaven's Official Blessing really helped me out a lot when making this video. So that also really helped. If it wasn't for all the animations I watch, like Chinese anime and US or Western animations, then my reaction probably wouldn't have turned out as good as it did Legendary Gamer. So I'm glad I watch a variety of animated series. I sometimes also watch a few French animations. I still haven't seen The Miraculous Ladybug yet. I heard good things about it, though, but I might delve into that eventually, though. Maybe. Because I also want to add watching a few French series into my lineup, too. You know? Want to mix it up. Have some anime, some donghua, some cartoons. And hey, why not add some French animated series, too, in the mix? But that's when I catch up, though, on normal anime, though. I'm not going to commit to that right now because my reaction schedule is too busy for at the moment. But it might not be so busy in the future, though. But yeah, thank you very much, though, Legendary Gamer. But yeah, thank you very much, y'all, for sticking around. And I hope y'all have a fantastic day, Leo Sick, Legendary Gamer, and everyone else. And bye-bye, everyone.